All right, welcome. This is Foolish Mortals. We are giving it another try here after our initial attempt a few weeks ago was delayed by an unexpected injury. Thought Friday the 13th would be a good time to jump back in. So I think we're going to start all over again because we didn't really do anything. Hope you are having a good Friday. It is Friday night over here. Not a moment too soon. Long weekend on tap, and I'm excited to get it started. So I hope you can join us. You know, like and subscribe, hang out with us, all of that. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. Spookadoozle, that's right, Adam. I'm gonna try and get this. I don't think we're having a serious problem here, but I'm just okay. I think we're good. Wait. No, what are you doing? All right, let's. Something's not working right. Okay. We're gonna start a new game. Okay.
They said there was a treasure on the island. Its location known only to the dead.
I think you
I could see it in my dreams. How was I supposed to know that in order to find it, I'd have to die too?
Yeah, I think Friday the 13th plus my need for a chill game tonight equals Foolish Mortals. I'll try, Adam. I have no hope that I'll guess anything like that, but remind me again, please. Oh, okay. What are you making? Orange chicken? I'm a big orange chickens. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. Although I'm trying to, I gotta go down on the scale. I've been going the wrong way. This winter is killing me. Nice, classic combo.
Well, I think you're a fool. Everyone on Devil's Rock knows what happened to that house. Over 30 years it stood empty now. Locals won't go near it. I say all it contains now is dust, cobwebs, and bad luck.
I don't have time for ghost stories.
Then what do you want with it?
33 years ago, the Belmore Trading Company was wound up and absorbed by the state. The owner's dead, the heir nowhere to be found. Money was missing from the company accounts, and it's still unaccounted for. I'm here to find it.
So you're a treasure hunter?
Not quite. I'm an auditor.
An auditor? Records, taxes,
I just have a
all
hard
that
time.
stuff?
Think of me as the adventurer of the
your
accounts book.
questions
But on
and
this case,
clues are
I'm
so
out of office and on
specific and good,
location.
it's
At
hard to
8
keep
a.m.
up
tomorrow
with it.
morning, the state's claim on that money lapses for good along with my commission. So I've got one night to find it. I'm overdue for a meeting with the parish comptroller to reopen the case.
The comptroller you're meeting wouldn't happen to be Theodore Grimes, would it?
Yes, I believe it is.
Would be hard to convince him, I'd say.
Why's that? I'm a good talker.
He died about 4 days ago.
Murphy's our main character
Wager
here.
he's waiting to be buried in St. Juniper Cemetery, stiff as a board.
Okay, that might be tricky. Talking to the dead isn't quite within my skill set.
Remember what I said about that house and bad luck?
My bad luck started long before that house. It's a 3-day journey to get here, and it took me 7. And ever since my suitcase got dropped overboard on the steamer, all I have to my name is a pocket watch, a magazine, and $1.
Less than $1, actually. You owe me for the taxi ride. And here's your change.
Didn't you say you'd take me into town?
You can walk from here. No one with any sense would go further onto this island at night. And remember, the tide's coming in. Within the hour, you'll be cut off from the mainland until tomorrow.
That suits me. I took the pocket watch out of my vest and clicked open the cover.
He definitely sounds like he could be Marty McFly's
I've got 13 hours to find $13 million.
Unlucky for some, but if you're really dead set on it, here's a tip. Go find the Spirit Queen.
The Spirit Queen? Who is that?
I think you'll find you mean, what's that? Good luck, Murphy McAllen.
Walking into the port town of Deadnettle, I could sense its history in every stone, brick, and plank. Echoes of merchant ships loading and unloading all manner of cargo from expeditions throughout the Caribbean. Gold and treasure that may still lie hidden on the island. The door was locked with a sign in the window saying, "Closed for private appointment, reopening shortly." I could see 2 gentlemen inside the store. A spindly man with a wiry mustache had his face pressed against a display cabinet, while a diminutive older gentleman tried desperately to pull him away. I'd seen similar behavior in Laurel and Hardy pictures.
Vanished into thin air, huh? The puppet show hadn't started yet. The
puppet show hadn't started yet. I shook the gate, but it wasn't going to open. Down the passageway, I could make out a portion of an illuminated courtyard and the echoing trickle of a fountain.
The skull over him.
Slap me with a paddle. It's a whopper.
Excuse me?
Well, blast my barnacles. That's the third one tonight. These fish sure must have been spooked by something.
Okay, so you can make him move a little faster. That's good.
Are the fish biting?
Not so well today, to tell the truth. That was the first nibble in hours. I'm near Kip's, by the way. I haven't seen you around here before.
I'm here because I have a very important job on this island. A calling that only I can fulfill. Dark secrets that I need to uncover.
Oh, you're a tourist. Now, why on earth would you choose Devil's Rock as the place to vacation?
I must have done something to upset my travel agent. The name's Murphy McCallan.
Nice to meet you, Mac. Not peckish, are you? You can help yourself to what I got here in my bucket if you like.
Oh, thanks. My expectations of a local seafood delicacy quickly unraveled when I plunged my hands into what felt like lumpy jelly. Ugh! There was a handful of fish guts.
Ha! That's the best bait you get around here. They smell pretty bad, but the critters on this island love them. Who would have known they're good at suckering in tourists, too?
Have you heard of the Spirit Queen?
Heard of her? Sure. But I wouldn't be heading down to the bayou at this time of night.
If she's out there, that's where I need to go.
Murphy, the bayou's dangerous. It's not the kind of place you want to go alone.
I'll be careful.
Well, if you're set on it, just take the western route out of town. Left at Pimlico Rock, then right on into the bayou. Without dark it gets in there, you'll see the lights guiding you the last stretch of the way. Just make sure the gators don't get too attached to you.
What's life like in Dead Nettle?
Well, it's not the hustle and bustle it used to be, but it suits me just fine. The ships just don't come through Dead Nettle anymore. Not since the disappearance.
You must have been talking about the Belmore wedding. The locals actually believed the
Dead
story.
Nettle,
Have you ever
Devil's
considered
Rock.
moving to the mainland?
Nah, I wouldn't like it over there. Crazies, oddballs, crackpots. The mainland doesn't have any of them.
I like that reversal there.
What's that you're reading?
This is Herman Melville's Moby Dick.
Are you enjoying it?
I'm struggling my way through it, to be honest. I thought it was a how-to book. I much preferred the last book I read. It was much more action-packed.
What book was that?
The Encyclopedia of Fishing Lures, 3rd edition.
I disagree. They ruined the 3rd edition. The 2nd edition is where it's at.
I'm going to get back to exploring the island.
I wouldn't go looking for it if I were you, you know.
Excuse me?
The folks this island gets now either seem to be looking for something or running away from something. You look like you're doing both. You've got your eye on that Belmore treasure, and I wouldn't be doing right by you if I didn't warn you to stay away from it. I know this island has a reputation for the macabre, and it's all fun and games in the beginning, but dig too deep, and you end up in a place you don't want to be.
What makes you think I... Ned looked at me in a way that told me my playing innocent wasn't going to work. Okay, that's right, but I'm not a grave robber. I'm an auditor, contracted by the state.
It don't matter what your reasons are, Mac. You need to be careful with that house. Us locals, we don't go anywhere near it.
I appreciate the concern, but who can really say they've seen a ghost?
I have, Murphy, and I'm not the only one. Ever since the disappearance, anyone brave or foolish enough to go up to that house has seen the same thing. You might say it was moonlight shimmering off dusty glass, the shadow of a tree branch, or a curtain blown by an unseen breeze. But deep down, we all know what we saw.
What did you see?
The phantom. It's not something anyone will forget. Every poor soul who's seen the phantom has been plagued by the most awful experience. Night after night of endless nightmares. Months of restless sleep. Just visions of faces. Evil faces. Laughing. It's like it can infect your dreams.
And who do you think the phantom is? Or was?
Nobody knows. But it must have been someone at that awful wedding. Someone who doesn't want to leave the house. Or doesn't want to let anyone in.
I appreciate your concern, but I have a job to do. I don't think my boss would be too happy if I report back that ghosts and ghouls are what's standing in my way.
You're not the first to come looking for the treasure, you know.
But if I find it, I could be the last.
Whether you find it or not, I hope that's true. For everyone's sake.
Ned's talk of nightmares was the last thing I needed to be
I don't
worried
go
about.
within 100
Even if it
yards
was a
about-
job.
with a fish
Ever since I
bucket
read
without
about the
grabbing
Belmore
some
treasure,
chum.
all I could do was
Just a
dream about
personal
finding
life
it.
rule I've always observed.
My pockets still reeked from the last handful of fish guts. I didn't need any more. To make use of that, I needed something to weigh. After what felt like miles, the eerie darkness of the bayou gave way to the soft orange glow of a gas lamp. And beyond it, the last thing I expected to find in the heart of the swamp. Hand-painted lettering on the side of a paddle wheel revealed the Spirit Queen wasn't a person, it was a riverboat. Its hull sagged, the woods swollen and split from years in the swamp. Peeling paint curled like dead skin. And what remained of its once grand decks now tilted and crooked. It looked like a wedding cake that had been left to rot.
Seems like a tremendous idea.
The alligator snapped at me like a sprung trap, giving me more than enough reason to stay well away from those teeth. If I wanted to get across the jetty, I needed to make sure the alligator wasn't on it. I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked. As I took the shrunken head from the sign, it almost seemed to grin at me. Creepy. As I looked over the alligator, I deduced two things. Firstly, its clouded eyes suggested it was blind, though its sense of smell more than made up for that. And secondly, there was a chain around its neck suggesting it was domesticated, and I began to wonder what type of person would keep an alligator as a pet.
Walking right up to the alligator with pockets full of chum. It's a smart man right there. Something from the beach, you say? The shrunken... I don't know how to use the shrunken head. Oh, what's this? This is everything I can interact with?
The damp air of the bayou had swelled the window in its frame. It would need more force than my bare hands could supply to open it. I considered climbing the water tower, but I couldn't imagine what I'd find at the top other than stagnant, moldy water. And there was plenty of that in the bayou already. I may have been new to the bayou, but even I knew that plunging my hand into alligator-infested waters wasn't a good idea. The sign read Dockmaster. Presumably, this little shack was where documents and licenses pertaining to the riverboat's operation were stored.
Oh, something from the beach. This is not the beach.
As I returned to the beach, I could see the causeway was now fully flooded over by the rising tide. I was trapped here until dawn.
Ah, yes, we need to abduct this girl and feed her to the alligator.
Hello? Little girl? You lost your mommy and daddy? It's late, there could be a lot of strange people around.
Yeah, I think I'm talking to one.
I was gonna say, like
Maybe I should
me.
introduce myself. My name's Murphy McCallan. What's yours?
Mallory Wisp, angel on the outside, malevolent force of disparagement, derision, and disorder on the inside. At least, that's what Mrs. Huxley wrote in my school report. Hey, do you know what an enfant terrible is?
Do your parents know you're here?
Of course they do. This is my happy place. I come here when I need to cheer up.
What's got you down?
It's my birthday, and I didn't get the present I wanted.
Well, happy birthday. Is being out here helping?
A little. It's a nice place to plot my revenge.
This doesn't sound like an appropriate way for a little girl to spend her time.
Little girl? Little girl? What am I supposed to like? Posies and princesses? Tiaras and tea parties? Those are not my thing.
How are you planning on getting revenge?
I'm not sure. Currently, I'm at the plotting and ruminating stage of my plan.
What are you plotting and ruminating about?
How things would be different if I was in charge of the world. We had a school project last week. What we want to be when we grow up. Mildred wanted to be a baker. Bobby wanted to be a firefighter.
What did you want to be?
Queen of the universe.
I guess no one can accuse you of lacking ambition. Do you think you could fix the world's problems and make the world a better place if you were in charge?
Oh, absolutely not. It would be far worse. My patience is worn so thin with all the idiots around me. I don't know if it would be wise for me to wield that much power. You to the dungeons! You to the torture room! It would be very cathartic for me, though.
What present did you want for your birthday?
A doll?
A doll?
What's wrong with wanting a doll?
Nothing. I just didn't expect it. It doesn't quite fit with your whole aura.
I'm still a little girl. I don't have to defy all your stereotypes. Instead, I get this stupid tin boat. I know Sebastian's got something to do with it, too. He was all over the tin boat when I showed him my toy catalog from Mulligan's.
Is he one of your friends?
Not in a million years. You can see right through him.
Shouldn't you be heading home?
I'm in trouble at home. Mrs. Huxley held me back for detention yesterday. Again.
What did you do?
I convinced 3/4 of the class to sign over their eternal souls to me in exchange for some jelly beans. Third graders are remarkably easy to manipulate with a bag of candy and a little peer pressure.
Why did you do that?
You've got to speculate to accumulate.
Why did you want their souls? What use do you have for them?
Just making sure I'm prepared. And that's just step one.
I didn't dare ask what she was preparing for. Have you heard of the Spirit Queen?
Look, if Maury put you up to this, you can tell him that I have no intention of going anywhere near his big, boring boat again. And anyway, those skulls look better with a little lipstick on them. I even made some cowrie necklaces for them, but nope. If we have a skeletal uprising, they're just going to have to maraud without being dolled up. And they'll have to take it up with Maury.
Who's Moray?
Nope, not falling for it.
Do you like living on Devil's Rock?
This island is cut off from society, an isolated microcosm of the dark and macabre. If I'm honest, it fits me quite nicely. Lots of places to explore, too, when I'm not banned from them.
Where are you banned from?
It's an obedient
Where am I
balloon.
not? The captain's club wouldn't let me in after I declared a mutiny. The lady at the newspaper office kicked me out when I tried selling stories about a zombie uprising. The witch doctor in the bayou threatened to hex me if I didn't stop sneaking on board and borrowing his toys. And the gravedigger banned me from the cemetery when I played a teensy little practical joke.
What did you do?
I convinced him the stiff he'd buried was still alive. People are so antisocial around here.
You snuck on board the Spirit Queen? You got past the alligator?
Oh yeah, Mephistopheles is a big softie. I think he likes the smell of rotting fish in my hair. My dad works the trawlers. Our entire house stinks like the inside of a humpback whale.
If you're not happy with your tin boat, could I have it?
I'll tell you what. I'll trade you my boat for your soul.
Deal.
I'm just kidding. Your soul can't be worth diddly squat. But I would like a
tin
doll.
boat.
I better get going.
I wouldn't walk across the beach again if I were you. This beach is covered in quicksand. I can hop along the surface, but with your weight, you'll be sucked down like a noodle.
Oh no. Really? This beach has quicksand?
Nah, I'm just messing with you. Tourists.
I'm an auditor, thank you.
Despite the little girl's disparaging look at her tiny toy, I doubted she'd be okay with me commandeering it. I didn't want to take the little girl's balloon from her. Her brooding face made it more than clear that it wouldn't be a... I peered into the tide pools, but all I could see was pebbles, sand, and seaweed. There would be no way to cross the causeway back to the mainland until the tide had gone down. I thought it best to leave Mallory to her ruminating. Despite the little girl...
So we acquired nothing. Thought you said there was something on the beach we needed. Oh.
The shrunken head was dry and desiccated. I doubted the alligator. Hand-feeding the alligator didn't seem like a good idea. I wondered if I could hypnotize the alligator, persuading its reptilic eyes to stare at the pendulous pocket watch, falling deeper and deeper into my trance. Then I realized the alligator was blind, and I had absolutely no powers of hypnosis whatsoever. I thought it best to leave Mallory to... How would you like to trade your tin boat for this?
A doll?
At least the head of one.
Deal! Oh, I'll hug him and kiss him and conquer the world with him.
Hard to starboard, little boat. Prepare to weigh anchor.
Mr. McAllen,
Yes? How do you know my name?
it's a work assignment that brings you to the island. Am I right?
She began staring at me with intense, hypnotic eyes. Disguised within her tailored outfit and tortoiseshell spectacles, she had the crazed look of someone not entirely in touch with reality. That's right.
An auditing job.
Eyes that looked like she was reading my very thoughts. Yes?
And you're late. Days late.
I was beginning to panic. Ned had warned me about the supernatural on this island. Was this person standing in front of me equipped with psychic powers that could read my very thoughts? How do you know all this? Are you the witch doctor?
The witch doctor? No. It was written on this telegram that came in for you. It came through a few days ago now. Your boss isn't too happy by the looks of it. Bill Bolam, the taxi driver, telephoned and said I'd find you out here.
You're reading my telegrams?
I'm a newspaper reporter. It's one of the best ways to get a good story. Now, do you want it or not?
If you wouldn't mind.
McAllen, you're late reporting in. I don't remember authorizing the reopening of a cold case, but you better make sure it pays off, or you'll be swapping desks back to the mailroom. Sid Sinclair, Sinclair Auditing Company.
Do you want to send a reply?
What was there to say? My only contact was going to be pushing up daisies by morning, and my one lead was the magazine I'd been carrying with me since heading out. Before I checked in with my boss, I needed some progress to report badly. You know, for now I'll just leave it.
Suit yourself. Sounds like you're up to some fun on the island, Murphy. Be a sweetie and keep me updated so I have something to write about, won't you?
She didn't even wait for a reply before she started striding back through the bayou. She hadn't taken a single thing from me, and yet somehow, I still felt like I'd just been mugged. I packed the fish guts into the tin boat. It was the smelliest little ship to sail the 7 seas. Perhaps this would attract the gator's attention. The hulking mass of scales and muscles lumbered to the edge of the Ready? With a splash that would be the envy of any cannonballing kid at a pool party, the irritable reptile disappeared into the murky bayou. I just hoped it didn't hold a grudge. The taxidermied fish looked like it was barely hanging on to the rotting wooden frame. Deciding it would be better coming with me, I picked it up. And in doing so, tore a long hole in its previously stitched up seam. The writing on the paddle wheel said in fancy painted letters, "The Spirit Queen."
This is what's going to happen to the Mark Twain, or whatever they call it at Disney World, now that the rivers of America have been drained. I'm sure they'll take care of it. I'm sure they won't trash it.
Spirits and specters from realms yet unknown, guide to me the wanderer who searches alone. Welcome, Murphy McCallan.
How do you know my name? Have you been reading my telegrams too?
I have no need for such trivial paperwork. I have eyes all over this island. Now it's time for me to see you for myself. Come, step into the light. I know a lot about you, Murphy. Unknown parents, a childhood spent in orphanages. I know things about you even you don't know.
How do you know all that?
My name is Dr. Moray. I am a conjurer, a shadow man, a controller of spirits that balance the line between life and death. And those spirits whisper to me. But for now, it's your time to talk, Murphy. Tell me why you've come to my humble abode.
I've been told you could help me.
That depends on what you seek.
I kept telling myself that the doctor's theatrics didn't convince me. That there must have been a logical reason why he knew what he did. But with how skittish the locals were, humoring him seemed like my only chance of learning more. I'm looking for the $13 million that went missing from the Belmore accounts. I'm an auditor in the company I work for.
Murphy, do you take me for a fool? I know what your mind sees when your eyes are closed. Tell me, Murphy, what do you dream of?
I dream about completing my work assignment.
I dream about completing my work assignment.
I see that spirit within you, hungering for more than an auditor's life. And I know you've dreamed about that treasure every night since you first read the story. Tell me I'm not right.
It's like the treasure is calling out for me to find it.
Many have sought the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. All have failed. Some, it is said, have perished in the process. Do you know what happened at Belmore Manor all those years ago?
The ghost story? I've read it, but I don't know how much of it is really true.
All of it. Dark magic runs throughout Belmore Manor. The house was built by the Belmore brothers, 3 merchants from England who made their fortune trading across the Caribbean. Xavier Belmore, an explorer. Yardley Belmore, an actor. And Cecil Belmore, a scientist. Their parents dead for many years, they each loved and cared for their young sister, Abigail. Abigail met a young sailor who worked aboard her brother's ships, and in less than a year, he proposed. The engagement was a scandal. Despite having the pick of any eligible bachelor in high society, her hand and her share of the Belmore fortune was to go to a commoner. Because of their unconditional love for their young sister, the Belmore brothers sanctioned the union. But people began to wonder if Abigail was being locked into marriage, whether by blackmail or black magic. The 3 proud brothers planned a grand wedding, but in the months leading up to it, one by one, each of the brothers was lost, presumed dead. And yet the wedding was still to go ahead. And with Abigail set to inherit the entire Belmore fortune once she came of age, people began to wonder whether the sailor was not a perpetrator, but a pawn. On the morning of the wedding, Abigail summoned the sailor to her chambers. "I don't love you," Abigail declared. "I never loved you." And before the guests gathered in the house, Abigail declared that she would marry another on that same evening. John Rackham, first officer of the Belmore Trading Company, would be her new groom. Except that didn't happen. That night, everyone in the house suddenly and mysteriously vanished. Perhaps it was the last revenge of the scorned sailor. In the house that night was a heart that would be broken, a victim who would be tricked, and a force that would unleash evil. But no one knows exactly who each was. If you want to find the treasure, Murphy, you'll have to find out.
You're telling me that all of that actually happened?
And so much more, Murphy. Mysteries you have yet to uncover.
Dr. Morey's performance was gripping, but it seemed like something out of the vaudeville shows I'd snuck into as a teenager. Grifters peddling magic spells, fortune-telling, and miracle elixirs. At least that's what I tried to tell myself. And the treasure, is that real too?
It is as real as you are, Murphy. And someone went to a lot of trouble hiding it.
Can you help me find it?
I can. If you can prove your dedication to the search, I will need you to retrieve something from inside the house. A small leather pouch called a gree-gree still lies inside Abigail Belmore's bedroom. We will need it if I'm to help you. This will get you inside.
You're not going to pull a rabbit out of your hat for your next trick, are you?
I do not do tricks, Murphy McCallan. You'll soon learn this.
He's really
the Belmore
manspreading
estate
there.
lies at the end of the northeastern peninsula of Devil's Rock. Find that gree-gree and bring it back to me. I'll be here when you return. And Murphy, this ghost story? Now it's your story, too.
Beeline it, like, go straight for Abigail's bedroom. Can do. Oh, yeah. The treasure was in Abigail's pants.
Framed by trees and lit by moonlight, Belmore Manor stood imposingly in the still night air.
Oh, shit.
Even without any lights on, it felt like something inside the house was calling me, or warning me.
Nice little atrium there. What, I don't know if that's an atrium or a...
I considered wading into the pond, water up to my waist, squelching my way through the reeds and mud, past frogs, bugs, and water snakes. Then I realized I had absolutely no reason to do that.
Yeah, bro, I'm dating Miss Louisiana. Oh, man. Lucky? Yeah, Miss Louisiana, 1933.
From the outside, I couldn't spot any clues to the location of the Belmore treasure. I needed the key to open it. With a deep breath, I placed the key into the lock of the house I'd been thinking about for weeks and turned it.
Oh, right. Yeah, good call.
Hello? I don't know if I expected a reply, but with only an echo in response, it seemed like nobody was home. I hope that was just the wind.
Abigail's true love is obviously me.
An orb appeared seemingly from nowhere, glowing and shimmering with energy, simultaneously captivating and terrifying. It was like it had a presence, an aura that I couldn't explain. My first instinct was to look for smoke and mirrors, but this illusion was right before my very eyes, one that I could reach out and touch. With neither of the doors appearing to open, I peered through the crack between them. I couldn't tell if I was imagining things, but it looked like shadows dancing. It was a painting of a gazebo overlooking the sea.
It's in quite good shape for being vacant for 33 years.
This was strange. I didn't remember seeing any lights on when I was outside the house. Walking into the room, I realized it must have been Abigail's bedroom. I was in the right place. Somewhere in this room was the Gree-Gree, and I needed to find it.
A Gree-Gree is a small amulet or charm used for protection, luck, or spiritual influence, most strongly associated with West African and Afro-diasporic traditions, especially in places like Haiti, Louisiana, and the broader Caribbean.
The phonograph didn't have a record to play. It was best to leave the vase where it was. I couldn't see anything special about. There was nothing I could do with the tabletop. The music box was locked with no visible keyhole, but a distinctive indent on the front looked like it might be the mechanism to open it, if I had the right key. The portraits hung tight to the wall and didn't reveal anything hidden behind them. Lighting the fire may have warmed the room, but it couldn't take away the chill I felt standing there. I took the poker from the hook.
Get out.
I hope that was my imagination. Lighting the fire may have warmed the room, but it couldn't take away the chill I felt standing there. The sheets lay flat on the bed, undisturbed for more than 30 years. The gree-gree wasn't going to be there.
Did you hear something? What?
I tried to open the balcony doors, but they were locked securely. I wasn't getting through. I tried to lift the ashpan grate, but decades without use had rusted it in place. Lighting the fire may have warmed the room. I wedged the poker in the grate, and with all my might, pulled.
Gree for Mimi?
I picked up the object that had been glinting in the fireplace and discovered it was a jeweled brooch. There was nothing left in the ashpan. The brooch fitted snugly into the indentation in the music box. With a small click, the music box opened and revealed the contents it had held untouched for more than 30 years. There was nothing I could do. The small leather bag was just as the witch doctor had described. It was hard to imagine what could be so important about it.
You should not be here!
Wait, I can explain.
You don't belong here!
I don't mean any harm.
Get out! Get out!
With good fortune, the pond had broken my fall. It was a strange juxtaposition, wiggling goldfish out of my underwear as I tried to process the fact that I'd just been the victim of an attempted murder by a ghost bride. The stories were true, so that meant the treasure might be real as well. And now I had the gree-gree. It was time to return to the Spirit Queen.
It's not very welcoming.
Murphy, did you find it?
I saw her. I saw the bride. She tried to kill me.
I told you it was true. Now, do you have the gree-gree?
Yes, I found it.
Good. Good. Now, do you believe what I've been telling you?
I'm starting to. Why did she try to kill me?
There are some spirits that, even in death, do not wish to give up what they amassed in life. The question is, are you strong enough to persuade them?
I would be if they'd give me a chance to ask them.
Precisely. That will be our next step.
A manuscript for a voodoo spell? A spell to help me find the treasure?
A spell to reveal those who know where it is. There are many things on this island that have gone unseen. Stories that have been left unheard, at least by mortals. But I commune with realms beyond. Let me introduce you to a friend. out of the shadows, the cursed and the damned. Return now, my servants, to do my command.
I have returned to you, Master.
Lower, this gentleman wishes to find the lost treasure of Belmore Manor. Tell him how this can be done.
Only inhabitants of the house know where the treasure lies, their spirits still within its walls, trapped between life and death. To ask them, those spirits must be pulled back to the mortal realm.
And that is what our spell will do, Murphy. A summoning spell to unveil the ghost trapped within the house.
7 ingredients place inside, tie closed and then unseal. Within the focus what may hide, this spell will soon reveal.
He was
Once
totally
you've
just
collected
thinking
all
that up
7,
the whole time he
we
was
can summon
locked
the
in
ghosts
purgatory.
of Belmore Manor. Once we've summoned the ghosts, we can ask them exactly where the treasure was hidden. You have served me, Loa. Be gone. That, Murphy, is your goal. Find the 7 ingredients named in the voodoo manuscript, place them in the gree-gree, and return to the Spirit Queen. Are you up to the task?
I think so.
Excellent. Then there's just
This guy
one
could easily
thing
just
left to
be
do. The
instructing me to
gree-gree
do
that you
his dirty
carry is
bidding
not
somehow.
yours. It was stolen from the spirits. And an artifact of voodoo will only work for its rightful owner. To be used, it cannot be stolen. It can only be bought or traded or inherited. Fortunately for you, the spirits and I are willing to make a trade for something symbolic of your spirit. The spirit that yearns to escape its humdrum life. If you want the gree-gree to be rightfully yours, what do you have to offer in exchange for it?
Get me a pole and I'll give you the best striptease you've ever had in your life. I'm an auditor and a stripper. So I'm a dual careerist. You can confirm. What if the plot twist is that Murphy McAllen is a woman under that vest? Poor Mr. Patches had the nastiest ear infection this morning. I've been keeping an eye on the ears. They were a little crusty, but this morning they were gooey and crusty, which was not good. So we went to the vet, and they were looking not so good at the vet, and they had to do all kinds of things to fix up his little ear. And we got a cleaning regimen, don't we, buddy? We got some work to do. Don't we, pal? Oh.
Now wasn't the time to leave. I needed to find an item to trade for the Gree. Gazing into the spirit pool, I thought I could see formless faces gazing back at me. Gazing into the spirit pool, I thought I could see formless faces gazing back at me. I didn't need to talk to the witch doctor yet. I needed an item to trade for the Gree. Would the spirits trade the Gree for this?
A valuable brooch indeed, but I seek something that represents you, Murphy.
What about this?
A pocket watch, a symbol of the life that doesn't satisfy you, a symbol of lost time. Dare you give it up?
I think I can do without it.
Then cast it into the spirit pool.
Hey, buddy.
The spirits have deemed it a satisfactory trade. The Gree and its powers are now rightfully yours to wield. You are ready now, Murphy. Head out to the island and retrieve the ingredients we need. Then I will show you the final step of the spell.
How am I going to find what I need?
Everything I've ever needed for my voodoo spells, I've found here. It's as though this island draws the supernatural to it. The bayou, the beach, the town, the manor, all will help you in your search. Tell me, Murphy, have you visited the mill to the north, the fort to the south, the church at the island's heart? The island will lead you to that which you seek. I have no doubt about that.
How are the ghosts trapped within Belmore Manor?
The explosion is what sealed their fate. They exist now only as spirits, the form they should take in the spirit realm, and yet they remain here in the mortal realm. The ghosts are trapped in that house, unseen, unheard, and unable to interact with the world around them. This spell will change that.
How is the bride able to attack me when she's supposedly unseen and unheard?
Voodoo works best when attuned to emotion, and the strongest of those emotions can sometimes push beyond the known limits. She must have been very angry with you.
If I summon the spirits of the house, won't I also summon the bride again?
Very true, Murphy. Best be a little more persuasive this time.
Has this stream had this weird border the entire time? What do we do about that? the hell, man? I don't have it on my TV here. I mean, I guess it's fine. What's up, Robert? Happy Friday. Too many variables with this PC dual monitor situation. Okay.
What was the explosion that...
It was a tearing in the very threshold between life and death, a chain reaction of spirit energy suddenly unleashed by the most violent of emotions. Just as the bride's anger allowed her to manifest in front of you this very evening, think of the rage that must have caused an entire household to explode and vanish.
Who was the creature that you talked to?
That is my Loa. The lower of the mysteries, the invisibles, the messengers.
Is it a ghost?
No, they are the intermediaries between humans and the supernatural. There are two planes of existence, Murphy. The mortal realm and the spirit realm. Loa can move between them both. With my powers, I can command them when they do.
How did you learn voodoo?
I have always been adept with the mystic arts. Just as you dream of treasure, Murphy, I dream of power. I came to Devil's Rock many years ago, drawn by its voodoo energy, and no sooner than I arrived, the spirit realm began to reveal itself to me, pleading for me to be its master.
Why is this island such a focus of voodoo energy?
I suspect the answer to that question already lies in what you're seeking.
What's this riverboat we're aboard?
This is the Spirit Queen. It used to be a pleasure boat, plying the rivers around the island, a den of drinking and gambling. That's how I came to own the boat. A lucky game of chance. But between you and me, Murphy, it's a lot easier to win when you have spirits to control the roll of the dice.
So
It sounds like you cheated.
Fate was always gonna bring this boat to me. I just hurried it along.
Do you keep an alligator as a pet?
That's right. My dear old Mephistopheles. Blind as a bat, but with the smell of a bloodhound. Good thing he's chained up safely in the boiler room.
No, he isn't. He was out on the jetty when I was trying to get aboard.
Where is he now?
Swimming in the bayou.
Oh dear, not again.
I'm going to go and find the voodoo ingredients.
Hurry back.
Hurry back.
The church door was locked. The inside of the church was silent and still. The church had a good view of the fort from this part of the island. I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for. I scanned the headstones for anything of note, but didn't know what I was searching for. I scanned the headstones for any... I scanned the headstones for anything of note. The coffin lid had been nailed down securely. I wasn't going to be able to open it. Hello.
Yeah! God darn it! Don't sneak up on people like that! You frighten the dying daylights out of me.
He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. Sorry, you seem a little jumpy.
I thought you were that pesky little girl again.
A little girl? That doesn't seem like a reason to be scared.
She's a terror! One of these days she's gonna give me a heart attack. Last week, she showed up with a doctor's note she'd forged, saying a man I'd buried that day was just a very deep sleeper. 7 hours I was out here digging him back up, at my age.
And was he sleeping?
Dead as a dodo. Just like that little girl will be if I get my hands on her. Who are you, anyway?
My name's Murphy McCallan. I've just arrived on the island.
Well, welcome, Mr. Murphy. I'm Edgar Kettle. Gravedigger, undertaker, coffin maker, and anything else that needs doing to keep this cemetery running.
I'm looking for the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Oh, a treasure hunter. Well, let me tell you something, young man. Don't even think about digging up my graveyard. There's no treasure buried here, and I'm already busy enough filling in the holes that are supposed to be here.
I best be running along.
Oh,
Don't
shit.
drop dead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about...
I think it's important to
But what if they're not in peace?
Well, you got me there. Listen, you know the three brothers went missing, right? Well, if you ask me, I think Abigail Belmore was behind it. She was engaged to a sailor, but nobody like her would go for a commoner.
She might have loved him.
She could have loved somebody with a big bank account, too. I think she must have been using him, pretending to love him so he'd do her dirty work for her, bumping off her brothers. Then afterwards, she drops him and goes to marry the officer of the company. Fiendish.
Do you have any proof?
Yeah, just a feeling, that's all. But when you work with cadavers, you kinda get a sixth sense about things.
What do you think?
Well, the sailor must have found out he was being manipulated, right? Done something to get his revenge.
What do you think he...
Nobody knows. He could have been working his way through those bodies like a madman. All we know is that everyone in that house disappeared. To tell you the truth, I'm quite relieved they did.
Why's that?
I don't get the sense that Edgar
it
is
would have
lying.
been this old fool who had to bury him. Saved me a lot of work.
Seems like kind of a straight shooter.
Did you make this coffin?
I sure did. But this is no more than a pauper's coffin by anyone's standards. The finest the parish pension can buy. Lock them in lumber, leave them to slumber, that's what I say. This'll end up 5 feet under by the end of the night.
I thought it was supposed to be 6 feet.
You're not the one doing the digging. 5 feet means I get a tea break.
Have you got any spare coffin nails?
No, I don't have any to spare. I've got a backlog of bodies begging for burial. But does the parish increase my funding? Nope. The roof's leaking, my table's broken. I've used
I think
floorboards
it's
to build some of the
probably not
coffins.
quite right.
Take my advice. Don't go into this line of work. Undertaking is a dying business.
Do you think I could fit inside the coffin?
Probably not. The gentleman inside might make it a bit of a squeeze.
You mean there's a dead guy inside there?
There better be. I can't afford to be burying empty coffins.
Was the little girl named Mallory Wisp by any chance?
That's her. The peril in a pinafore. She got the whole town thinking I was burying people prematurely. I walked past the school the other day, and they'd made up a jump rope chant about me.
Oh, what was the chant the school children made up about you?
Edgar, crazy feller, just be careful, he don't get you. How many bodies did he strive to bury while they're still alive?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I wasn't looking for audience participation.
Sorry, I got carried away. Just like you with the burying. Have you ever accidentally buried someone who was still alive?
Has someone been making accusations again?
No, just making conversation.
Well, not that I know of. When you think about it, how would I know?
Shouts for help, desperate shaking of the coffin.
Look, I haven't sealed anyone up who was chatting with me, let's put it that way. I usually check for signs of life, but everyone takes shortcuts sometimes, don't they? I deserve some rest in peace, too.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Hopefully not the guy in the coffin.
Not funny.
I best be running along.
Goodbye.
I didn't need to warm my hands on the stove. It was already a humid night, and I thought I'd... The coffin lid had been nailed down securely. I did...
Hurry up with the barrels, Morris. We gotta get these unloaded before anyone sees us.
Are you sure this is a good idea, Musket? I don't think we should be using a church as our
classic,
hiding place.
You're
duo.
not being paid to think, Morris. You carry those barrels in here and let me worry about the theological implications.
numbskull
This place
and
has been
one
abandoned for
leg
decades.
asshole.
There's nobody around.
Nobody
Like
living,
the Wet
maybe.
Bandits.
What if there's
And the movie
ghosts,
Bugonia.
boss?
Darn it, Morris. If brains was dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose. Now get unloading. And keep an eye out for anyone snooping around.
What if someone catches us?
What if
Anyone asks, we're the new clergy. We tell them these barrels are full of communion wine.
I thought we was rum runners, not wine runners, boss.
Communion rum, then.
Ah, gotcha.
Remember, St. Juniper's Church is a place to get closer to God. And if anyone questions our alibi, we make sure that happens.
The pair of rum runners looked like the human personifications of the dish and the spoon from Hey Diddle Diddle. The gangly spoon bossing around the rotund dish as it carried barrels effortlessly from the jalopy and into the church. As it turned out, nursery rhyme characters become a lot more intimidating once they have revolvers. The barrels were far too heavy for me to lift, though that gorilla of a rum runner had been picking them up like they were cotton balls. The jalopy door was locked. How ironic that the rum runners would take care not to... Wandering happily into the...
Patch. Oh, friend. Where'd he go? Patch. Bud. Patches. Oh. Where's this? Hey, pal. Hey, my man. Hey, good bud. Having cursor issues over here. Oh, here we go. Over the rum barrel and carry something in. Ugh, this fucking mouse.
The noise of smashing barrels definitely would have alerted the rum runners. That wasn't going to work. That did. I needed to think of something else.
That's a terrible idea.
Nope. Cluck, cluck, buck, 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 cluck. I tried.
What is he saying?
Cluck, cluck, buck, 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 cluck. I tried to persuade the chicken to come outside, but clearly I was out of cluck. The wood was old and rotting. It wasn't going to be of any use. And who knew what critters might have made their homes inside the pile? Despite its obvious age, the water wheel was still turning. I couldn't get near it, and that was probably a good thing if I didn't want to get dragged under by the current. The inside of the lumber mill smelled like sawdust and grease. Judging from the overgrown weeds, it clearly hadn't been used in a long time, and yet the lights remained on.
Oh, for the chickens?
I looked over the machine, but I couldn't find a way to turn it on, if it even still worked. I didn't want to touch it. I hadn't seen something with that many scary-looking teeth since Old Lady Malloy's German Shepherd got loose on my 10th birthday. The beam looked to be driven by the water wheel outside. From the multitude of wires fanning out from the top, it was presumably hooked up to a generator. The beam looked to be The beam looked... The hatches were locked. From their shape, I deduced they were for storing lumber, and I wasn't in need of any 2x4s. The saw blades were rusted, dull, and would surely have precipitated the need for a tetanus shot. I picked up the auger from the tool shelf. The wood was old and rotting. It wasn't going to be of any use. And who knew what critters might have made their homes inside the pile? The lighthouse light was off. I could have tried squeezing my arms through the bars, but I already knew the barrel was too far away to reach. Even with the poker, I wouldn't have been able to reach the barrel. Here, kitty, kitty. Psst, 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 psst. It was no use. That cat was clearly more entranced by shiny things than the stranger outside the gate. The brooch was much too dirty to catch the cat's attention. There wasn't anything to do with the lantern. I couldn't get to the staircase while the gate was locked. The coat of arms depicted 4 lions surrounding a central flower, topped by a medieval tower. I jiggled the gate, but it wasn't going to open. If pirates and the colonial powers of Western Europe weren't able to get into the fort uninvited, I wasn't about to either.
Ugh, this fucking mouse. It's not... Just keep, like, going off the screen and then, like, having to drag it back onto the... It's going between the laptop screen and the TV screen, like, when I don't want it to, and it's frustrating.
Oh, my second customer of the night. I don't know if I can handle such a rush. Welcome, young man, to Doubloon's Jewelry. Oh, the riches to fill your breeches. Jewels, silver, gold, the finest things for you to behold. Whom do I have the pleasure of meeting?
My name's Murphy McCallan.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you. My name's Jasper Crumb, owner and proprietor. Are you looking for something valuable while you're here on the island?
Funnily enough, I am.
Is there a special someone in your life? Looking for an apology gift, perhaps? I've sold more missed anniversary necklaces and drunken fumble earrings than I can count.
No, I don't need anything like that.
Then how about something for yourself? You look like a working man. Could I interest you in a pocket watch?
Actually, I had one up until about an hour ago. Traded it to a glowing green guy for a magic pouch. As the words left my lips, I realized I sounded like a character from Jack and the Beanstalk.
Pardon me?
I'm just here to browse.
Browse away, young man. I'll be here if you need me.
I didn't need the poster. The cabinet was filled with precious jewels, geodes, and fossils next to a small sign that read, "Treasures of the Earth." There was no way I could carry a fishbowl full of water and a live goldfish around with me. The cabinet was filled with used jewelry, rings, brooches, necklaces, and more. Even secondhand, I would have had to save for years to afford any of them. I inspected the carving. Its woodworm-dotted surface and water-stained edges suggested it had once been much more than a decorative piece in a jewelry store. There was no reason to use the microscope without something to magnify. Even if I could reach it, it was probably... The cabinet proudly displayed all manner of gold and silver creations, watches, necklaces, pendants, and more, all made in-house by the jeweler. Excuse me, would you be able to polish a brooch for me?
Let me take a look. Oh, well, 18-karat yellow gold, filigree wirework in a handcrafted floral motif, and round, brilliant cut ruby, if I'm not mistaken, made to fit a music box?
That's right. How did you know that?
I know my own handiwork anywhere. Now, how did you get a hold of it?
Oh, just a gift.
What a generous gift indeed. Well, we do offer free polishings on all items purchased here, so I'd be very happy to shine her up for you. Please, bear with me for a moment. There we go, shining like a firefly's rear end. I'm afraid the clasp on the back has broken off. You weren't planning on wearing it soon, were you?
I wasn't planning on wearing it at all.
There's no shame in indulging yourself every once in a while. Lord knows I can appreciate the comfort and empowerment a pair of hosiery can bring. Anyway, we don't have any replacement clasps in stock, but I can put in an order. In the meantime, here's a button magnet that should hold it in place, as long as you're not too vigorous with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With the newly polished brooch gleaming, I angled it towards the lantern, catching the light and reflecting a red beam on the wall. I took a handful of the spilled gunpowder. It was the gunpowder barrel the cat had knocked over, now spilling out its contents onto the cold stone floor. It was the gunpowder barrel the cat had knocked over, now spilling out. I already had some gun. I placed the gunpowder into the gree-gree.
When did I get a button magnet?
The horseshoe was just out of my reach. From the patina of rust, it was clear the patio set hadn't been used in decades. Gazing up at the glowing moon, it reminded me of a poem I could recite by heart, even if I couldn't remember where I'd first heard it. From way up high, the moon can spy beyond where eyesight delves, but with some time, the maritime can see those sights themselves.
Horseshoe? Where was there a horseshoe?
Ouch!
Oh.
So... I picked up the horseshoe that had assaulted me. I needed to think of something else. I couldn't do that.
What could the horseshoe possibly go inside?
With the ripped seam as an opening, I placed the horseshoe inside the
jeez.
taxidermy fish. Now it was heavy.
What do you do with a horseshoed fish?
The wheel was too heavy to move. The doors were firmly locked from the inside. The knot was tied so tightly I couldn't loosen it. The knot was tied so tightly I couldn't loosen it. The knot was tied. The barrel dangled from the rope like a piñata, but having this burst over my head would be the first step. Nope. I couldn't do that. The cow skull was out of reach, high. The doors were firmly locked from the inside. The wheel was too heavy to move.
Wine opener?
Looking out over the tranquility of the gardens, its magnolias lit by moonlight, nothing could take my attention away from the macabre sight dangling from the oak tree. A hanged skeleton, its wedding suit little more than tattered rags clinging to bone, and its skull seemingly watching me with hollow, unblinking eyes. An eternal groom without a bride.
Did it again. Fuck. It sucks because it happens when you go too far off screen. Ugh.
I didn't want to make a hole in that. I didn't want to make a hole in that.
A hole in a rope?
The skeleton hung high up in the tree, swaying with each slight breeze. Even from down on the ground, I felt disturbingly close to it. The stark trunk of the tree didn't offer any possibility of climbing it.
Oh, with the fish. Make Ned think you made a great catch. By golly, that's the heaviest little fish I've ever seen. see. My stamina is not great tonight so far, but I do plan on, I think, having one more drink after this. How long have we been going so far? I know we've been on at least an hour. Oh wow, we're getting up there. Guess let's go break into the Spirit Queen shack. The Jack Shack. That could mean something different.
I jiggled the handle, but the door was locked.
Hey, Patch.
That didn't work. Nope. I couldn't do that. Nope. The damp air of the bayou had swelled the window in its frame. It would need more force than my bare hands could supply to open it. I needed to think of...
How do you do it?
With the gator disposed of, I turned my attention to the sack hanging from the crane. There was no apparent way to open it, but by the feel of it, it seemed to be filled with some kind of grain. There was no apparent way to open... That didn't work.
I want this poke to be so much more than it is. Namely, a cutting instrument. Guess let's go back. Since I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, I guess let's go back to Mr. Fishman.
The stories about Belmore Manor are true. I saw the ghost bride inside the house.
Blast it, Murphy. Don't say I didn't warn you. This island has had its fair share of the macabre. The best way to deal with it is to leave well enough alone. Why are you searching for that treasure anyway?
Well, it's my job. The state's claim on that money runs out at 8 a.m., and I'm supposed to find it.
You seem pretty passionate about something that's just for work. What are the odds you draw an assignment like that?
Well, I might have made my own luck there. They wouldn't normally authorize an investigation so close to the statute of limitations running out, especially on a 30-year-old cold case. But thrust a stack of forms in front of the boss 5 minutes before clocking off on a Friday afternoon, and he doesn't care what he's signing.
Let's just hope he wasn't signing your death warrant.
Most of my investigations don't amount to more than counting paper clips in a municipal building or going cross-eyed over receipt rolls in a courthouse. When I found that old case folder tucked behind the filing cabinet, its only lead, a water-stained magazine, talking about a real-life haunted house, How could I pass it up? You didn't tell me the Spirit Queen was a riverboat.
Oh, sure. That thing's been moored up in the bayou with her keel kissing the mud for years. Witch doctor lives aboard her now. Claims to sell all manner of hoodoo and voodoo. But to believe that, you need to be dumber than the bachelor in New Orleans, throwing beads at the Sisters of Mercy.
I spoke with Dr. Moray. He thinks we can make contact with the ghosts.
Moray is a charlatan and a fool. Only got into hoodoo and voodoo a few years ago. Before that, he was an actor over at the Calliope Theater, and not a very good one. He's the only person I know who directed and starred in a one-person production of the Pirates
I would
of
agree
Penzance.
based
And that's
on
because all the
vibes,
rest of the
except he
cast
did
dropped out
summon
rather
the
than work with
spirit,
him.
So
He's always been searching for respect and recognition. Who would have known he found it by living in the swamp and reeking of incense?
Don't you believe in voodoo?
I certainly do. I just don't think Moray's got any more control of it than the rooster has control of the sunrise. His understanding of voodoo amounts to whatever he's gleaned from one of those horror pictures Ventura Studios puts out at the movie palace. My mama used to know all about it. God rest her soul. Voodoo isn't some made-up Hollywood magic, Mac. Voodoo's a real religion. It's about community, about belonging, and about searching for something more than flesh and blood. It's not the snake oil he peddles.
What do you think happened at Belmore Manor?
Now there's a tale I don't like to tell.
Can I persuade you to tell it anyway?
I have a feeling I ain't gonna get any rest until I do. You know about Miss Belmore, the bride, engaged to the sailor? Nah, the way I hear it, Mr. Rackham was over the moon with her. Such an upstanding fellow. I won't have a bad word said against him. Now he realized that the sailor was going through terrible lengths to ensnare his bride, and Mr. Rackham tried to save her. I heard that the sailor cottoned on to this and tricked Rackham into giving the lady a gift. That's what made everything go topsy-turvy.
What was the gift?
There are places in the Caribbean that trade things more elusive than gold. Ungodly things.
Do you think the disappearance was caused by voodoo?
And that's what my mama used to say. If you're not careful, that stuff can go to your head.
I kind of zoned out. He was talking about something more elusive than gold that was voodoo and somebody's gift.
No luck fishing?
Not a bite, Mac. The Pencosa fish just ain't snapping for me today. Shame, too, because I'm planning on firing up my grill later. And the tastiest catch in these waters.
How do you catch a Pencosa fish?
With hours of patience and decades of practice. You ever wrestled a rod before?
Just the once. I went fishing on Lake Erie, but the only thing I caught was a cold. What do you do with the fish you catch?
A couple I save for myself, and the rest I sell to the Captain's Club. They fancy them up with lemon lobsters, slawfish, something or other. But everyone knows the best way to cook them is to grill them.
Why won't you hear a word against Mr. Rackham?
He gave me my first work on this island, right here on these docks. And I'm still here to this day. He may have worn a scowl, but you don't judge a banana by its peel with people like him, Mac. When I looked into his eyes, all I saw was ambition.
What work did you do?
Loading and unloading the ships that came in. Of course, they just don't do that anymore. Dead Nettle's a forgotten town. Maybe that's for the best.
Why is he sitting there with a knife?
Catch you later, Ned.
See you around, Mac.
Hey, Ned, do you mind if I borrow your knife?
If you need it, Mac, just bring it back to me later tonight, would you? If I'm lucky with my catch, I'll be firing up the grill. You're invited to join me, of course.
I don't know where you live, sir.
I had more important things.
Mac, does that say what I think it does? You been holding back on me. That breaks Squibb's record.
Squibb?
Jebediah Squibb, the Cajun catcher he calls himself. Last week at the Dead Nettle Docks, Squibb caught the heaviest Pencosa on record. Got his photograph on the front page of the newspaper and everything.
McAllen! How does it feel to have decimated the town record in your first few hours on the island?
How did you hear about this so fast?
It's my job to know about things fast. Now, I'm asking the questions here. Where'd you get the fish, McAllen?
Well, it was a mighty battle on the southern coast. Its fins strong as a motor, its mouth as fierce as a tiger's. I paused dramatically to allow my fishing prowess to wash over them.
What rod did you use?
Wooden one?
I mean, what make?
You know, I didn't use a rod.
You caught the fish without a rod?
It was more one-on-one. Mono, fisho.
You wrestled a fish?
And I won.
Well, as much as it pains me to say it, you're the cover story in the next edition of the Juniper Parish Gazette. And this is why I'm not getting a Pulitzer.
I've got to hand it to you, Mac. That fish is a whopper. I don't know how you got it, but as long as it keeps Squid quiet at the porch party tomorrow, I ain't complaining.
I mean, we're cheaters? The newspaper, you say? Where is one by news?
Murphy! Have you seen the cover of the evening edition? I think we caught your personality perfectly in that photograph. Naive, simple, unsophisticated. Makes it all the more surprising that you actually accomplished something.
I wonder if I should have it framed.
That'll cost you.
I remember your trick with the telegram.
Hey, it's nothing personal. Your business is my business, and my business is news. I'm Evelyn Stoker, editor of the Juniper Parish Gazette. No misdeed left unshared, no drama left unmonetized. Come on, work with me here, McAllen. I need something juicy. Committed any crimes? Uncovered any affairs? Any deep, personal secrets to reveal?
The honest-to-God truth? No.
I need a good story. I can't let something minor like the truth stand in the way of that. Don't even think about it. The spring on that printing press looks like it's going to blow at any moment.
Patches. Hey, bud. Boy, looks really cozy over there. I hope he's feeling a little better. That was a mess earlier. We gotta get that ear right. Yeah, just gunk, like, coming out of it like crazy, and then they told me when they were cleaning it out that he had, like, a wound in his ear caused by the like, ear infection situation, and so they had to give him a steroid shot for that. My poor baby. Oh, buddy. We gotta take care of him. And even if you touched his ear, he would yelp. Oh, buddy. I got you, bud. I got you, Patch.
I picked up the twine. With her stunt at the bayou, I figured she owed me one. I picked up the scissors. Maybe she owed me two. Besides, I didn't want to get ink all over me trying to...
Hey, those cost money, you know.
But it has my photograph on it.
The Do Not Serve board down at Spinelli's bar has my photograph on it. But that doesn't mean I can just pick it up and walk out with it, does it?
Spinelli's.
Yes?
Hi.
Hi.
What are you working on?
One of the most romantic articles this newspaper's ever seen. Francois Fogg, Dead Nettle's local pharmacist, is reuniting with his long-lost love after 14 years apart, thanks to this newspaper's personal ads column.
What a lovely story.
That's right. She mailed in a letter she wanted printed. Her former sweetheart saw it, and now they're on track to see each other again. Eventually.
Eventually?
Well, that's a bit of an administrative issue. In the letter we received, she told him to meet her in her Texas hometown of Magnolia. Due to a tiny typesetting error, he's now on a 6-week voyage to Mongolia. But doesn't it warm your heart how far people will go for love?
Patches. Oh, he's handsome. Oh, friend.
Don't you have more interesting stories to write about?
The crackpots this island calls a population wouldn't know something interesting if they paid for it. Which they hardly do. Believe me, I've tried to get juicier stories. Scouring the island, doorstop interviews, hiding under windows.
You eavesdrop on people through their windows?
It's called investigative reporting.
I'm doing some research on the treasure of Belmore Manor.
Have you found it?
Well, no, not yet. I've just started looking.
Then don't waste my time. Come back when you've got the goods.
You might not believe this, but I saw a ghost inside Belmore Manor.
You know what? You're right, McCallan. I don't believe it. Really? You've been on this island how long? And you're already starting to sound as loopy as a local.
Have you ever written an article on the disappearance at Belmore Manor?
What a waste of column inches. Leave it. That's my advice. There's no story in it.
No story?
Not one that anyone would believe. And I've got advertisers breathing down my neck.
What do you think went on?
Practically everyone on this island thinks there was some kind of sorcery involved. No one is looking at the reality. If I write up my research, no one on the island will believe me. If I write their wackadoodle theories, I'll be laughed out of the industry.
You can tell me what you've uncovered about Belmore Manor. Trust me, at this point, few things would surprise me.
I heard the Belmore Trading Company was losing revenue. Its profits eaten up by who knows what ventures those brothers had going on. I've seen the records. The company was privately owned, sure, but when you've got pressure building and the sharks are circling, you've got to shore up your defenses. I think that's why the Belmores persuaded Abigail to marry John Rackham.
Marry someone she didn't love?
But he didn't love her either. He was just after the company, so he hires the sailor to seduce her, convince her there's more to life than Devil's Rock. And as soon as she marries Rackham, they split, never to see each other again. He inherits the lot, and she disappears with her lover boy sailor to who knows where.
But why do you think all the guests disappeared?
They bumped them off to cover their tracks. Either one of them could have been sunning it up in Sarasota ever since. But imagine me writing that into a piece of serious journalism.
Did you know Comptroller Grimes?
How could I forget him? The guy was a walking, talking migraine generator.
Surely you shouldn't speak at the dead like that.
Why not? I spoke plenty worse about him when he was alive. Anyway, I'm sure everything happens for a reason. And hopefully that reason is to increase my circulation numbers. Everything's connected, you know. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? I suspect it works for moths, too, because I can never get the damn things out of here. Some people say that if a man breaks wind in Alabama, it can cause a hurricane in Fiji.
I think I shared a train car with that guy on my way here.
Is that how it goes?
I think I better be going.
Keep your eyes peeled for a story, McAllen. There are secrets on the island, and it's my job to run advertisements next to them. Hey, you can't come back here.
Sorry.
Hey, those cost money.
I'd like to buy a newspaper.
Finally, I get something out of you loitering in here. That'll be 1 cent, please.
I picked up the newspaper. The fewer people that saw it, the better.
The picture.
I placed the dime into the gree-gree. That would work as the silver coin. I glanced at the ledger on the podium. It was mostly empty. The words I could see were written in such an unreadable scrawl that looked like a centipede had dipped its legs in ink and skittered across the page. There was nothing in the fountain except a rim of moss and dirt that made it look like a stained toilet. Good evening. He looked past me like I was invisible, as though if he ignored me hard enough, there was a chance I'd disappear. I said good evening.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were talking to me.
There's no one else here.
Wishful thinking on my part. Have you taken a wrong turn, sir?
I'm just having a look around.
Well, make it a quick one, and I shall need to know your name.
Murphy McAllen, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name is Felix Greer, maitre d', bartender, and acting manager of the Captain's Club. When Mr. Perkins has the night off.
What is this place?
This, sir, is the Captain's Club, a private members club for current and retired sea and riverboat captains. We are highly exclusive. Are you a captain?
He asked with a smugness that told me he already knew the answer.
I thought not. Then may I recommend a swift exit? You'll find a convenient egress to your starboard side. If you like, I can give you a good swift kick in the right direction, sir, and don't feel a need to stop walking until your ankles get soggy.
I'm looking for the lost treasure of Belmore Manor.
Oh, goody! Another young adventurer seeking fame, fortune, or some combination of the two. Just the local color Dead Nettle has been lacking.
What do you know about the lost treasure?
Do you think you're living in a storybook? Weathered maps, talking parrots, X marks the spot? Grow up, you silly boy. Captaincy is a noble skill that doesn't need to be trivialized with childish tales of lost treasure.
You must have some thoughts on the disappearance.
On moonlit nights, when the waves crash against the rocks, the captains of this club trade yarns about this very mystery. Did you know Abigail Belmore's fiancé was a sailor who worked on the ships? Some of the old boys here even worked with him. They say he loved her, as true as a captain loves the sea. But she was a temptress, a siren. She scuttled that sailor's heart, consumed by a voodoo premonition that she had to fulfill. More beautiful than a mermaid, and twice as fishy.
Not very
What did she do?
After months of engagement, she broke it off and chose to marry an officer of the company instead, on their very wedding day.
Why did she do that?
The rumors I've heard are that they discovered something in the Caribbean. Something wicked. Something that consumed them and drove them to heinous acts. The Belmore brothers swore their crew to secrecy, and the men were loyal to their word. But the rot in the rope was that sister, Abigail. People say that whatever they discovered took hold of her. With the sailor's broken heart and the officer's resources, she was about to unleash something terrible. Until the disappearance halted her evil plans.
Do you think that's true?
Of course not. It's all nonsense. But the captains do love to outperform each other with such tales on a dull evening.
What makes you think I'm not a captain?
For one thing, you lack the grizzle, the crustiness, the essential R of a captain.
How do I get
Essential
those?
R.
Years of exposure to saltwater and a sullen, uncooperative crew, I should think. Do you even have a boat?
Actually, I did have one earlier this evening, but an alligator fell on it. Admittedly, it was only 3 inches long.
It isn't the size that matters, sir. It's the motion of the ocean.
Oh, sex
Tell
joke.
me, have you ever captained a three-rigger through a tropical typhoon? Have you ever run the rapids of the Mississippi without hitting a single reef? Wind in your sails? Fire in your furnace? Waves beneath your keel?
Have you?
Well, it's a little complicated.
In what way?
I get seasick.
This guy needs some disciplining.
Is there any way to prove I'm a captain?
You might show me your captain's license. As I'm sure you know, the state of Louisiana requires all captains of both river and sea to carry one. But don't try to foist off a fake on me. Last week we had someone present a license with a photograph distinctly unlike their contemporary appearance. The photograph was clearly of someone a good deal older than them, with more facial hair, and most importantly, one less eye.
You know, I quite like being out at sea.
Oh, really, sir?
Bobbing along the ocean waves, up and down, like one of those roller coasters at Lunaland. Up and down and up and down.
If sir would please be quiet. Else I expect there'll be a few waves of something coming out of my mouth.
We tried to get into the shack. We
any
couldn't
moment.
get into the shack. You said the jack worked for the shack, but it did not.
Ned told me he sells fish to you. What do you serve here?
Captains.
Right, yes. I mean by way of food.
The Captain's Club serves a dazzling array of sea-sourced dishes, from our house special jambalaya to my personal favorite, Devil's Rock Pencosa, pan-seared with lobster slaw and citrus crawfish beer blanc. In all honesty, it's not very popular. Most of the clientele are absolutely sick of seafood by the time they get ashore. Just the sight of it makes them queasy.
What about drinks?
Listen, if you're from the Prohibition Bureau, we've cleared all of that up with Officer Moe. Fines were paid, items changed hands, and now we're clear.
I'm not from any Prohibition Bureau.
It
Then
sounded
forget I
like
said
when
anything.
he talked
The
about the
Captain's Club is
window and
strictly
needing more
teetotal,
force, it sounded
in
like
line
it
with
would
federal
work,
law.
but then I couldn't
Now,
figure
if
out
certain
how
members wish to bring in their
make it
own
work.
medicinals, then we're happy to provide the accompanying aids. Ice, tonic, mixers, and the like, but we serve no alcohol on the premises.
Is the club busy tonight?
Well, we haven't opened yet, but if it's like last week, it'll be quite the lively soiree. I could barely keep up.
The members here like to have a good time?
That's right, sir. Both of them. This town sure isn't what it used to be.
I best be casting off.
Oh,
Hello again, Felix.
hello again.
What's happened to Dead Nettle?
Do you think you've wandered into the Tourist Information Center? I can assure you, you'll never meet a tourism official who dresses with this much panache. Stuart LePew, head of the Devil's Rock Historical Society, looks like a thrift store had a crisis of conscience and threw up on him.
I was just hoping to talk to someone so obviously knowledgeable about the area.
Well, yes, that is true. I am plagued with an encyclopedic knowledge of the locality. My concierge duties require it. I have a spiel.
Felix pushed out his chest like this was his moment in the limelight, his eyelids half closing as he performed before imagined crowds.
Welcome, hardy traveler, to our quaint port town of Dead Nettle. Once this town you see around you was a hub of commerce, a beacon for ships bravely navigating between America, Europe, and the Caribbean. With the unfortunate dissolution of the Belmore Trading Company, our town has settled into a quieter life, perfect for the sailor ready to hang up their cap. We hope that you enjoy your time in our cozy town and perhaps explore some of the local sights here in Dead Nettle. Well,
Excuse me?
I was expecting a...
I best be casting.
Don't feel the need... You can't go up there.
Patches. Hi, pal. Hi, friendo. Bro. Yeah, if there's any chance of us getting to the,
As I picked
end
up
of
the
the
bottle,
chapter,
I
that would be
anticipated
good.
what could be inside. A brine-stained treasure
My
map,
drink
perhaps.
is over
A
halfway
scribbled plea
through
from a
and
castaway desperately awaiting
probably won't
rescue.
last much
Looking
longer
inside,
than
I
that.
found it was empty. The only writing on it was the embossed glass letters of the Orangello Soda Company.
because I'm not, because if I stay, I'll drink a fourth drink, and I don't want to drink a fourth drink. I won't feel good tomorrow if I do. I do want to try this again.
The damp air of the bayou had swelled the window in its frame. It would need more force than my bare hands could supply. With a bit of elbow grease, I levered up the window frame.
Simultaneously drinking water. It's always something they recommend when you're having alcohol, but I usually don't do. If I do it, I do it like right after I start like drinking a bunch of water after I'm done drinking booze.
Pressed against the inside wall was a dusty desk covered in spider webs. And to top it, one thing lay undisturbed. A small folded document which I picked up,
not a lot.
along with an inadvertent eight-legged companion. Ugh. Ghost stories and haunted treasures I could handle, but spiders gave me the creeps.
Is this going to get me into the club?
I jiggled the handle. Using the auger, I drilled a small hole in the barrel, and out poured rum. I filled the bottle with rum pouring from the barrel. Relief washed over me at the realization that I'd done it without getting caught by the two rum runners.
Hey, Musket! There's someone out here!
Or so I thought.
Hey, Phil, what do you think you're doing snooping around here? This is our church, you know, and it's closed.
I'm just here to do some praying. Mainly praying that I get out of this situation without a puncture wound.
He's being a wise guy, Musket.
Time to fill him full of lead.
But, boss, it's bad luck to bump someone off in a churchyard.
Now, where'd you hear a nonsensical thing like that?
I thought churches was hallowed ground, where sin and immorality would face supernatural punishment in this world or the next.
Where do you get this stuff from? I told you, I do the thinking in this partnership.
Damn it, Marv. The wet bandits. I mean, I guess they're pretty wet. They're dealing with rum. Hi, buddy. Oh, what a handsome feather. Nobody's Jenny. Go inside the barn? Grab the skull in the mill? Or are you is this all in the manor?
I went to open the door into Belmore Manor, but the key was gone. I was sure I'd left it in the lock. I went to open the... I was sure...
The rum and the gree-gree.
I poured the rum into the gree-gree.
God damn it.
The knot was tied so... That didn't work. Nope. The rope was too thick for the scissors. I would have been... The knot was tied so... The rope was too thick for the scissors to get purchase. I would have been hacking away for
It's an
hours like a
interesting
nearsighted
expression.
lumberjack. Carefully, I cut my photograph out of the newspaper.
I love that.
It was the photograph of myself I'd cut out of the newspaper. I wish I'd posed better. I was going to need something adhesive to stick it in with. The molasses was far too thick and gooey to get into the bottle.
What was the point of dipping the photograph in molasses? Oh, I thought I already did that.
I touched the back of the photograph to the molasses.
I'm at the point where, like, having one more drink would be nice and I would play longer, but I would not appreciate it. It's too late. I would not appreciate it in the morning. I did that last week, and because I was a good boy all week, I waited. I didn't drink Monday through Thursday like I've been trying to do. And now I'm having my reward, but like it's so easy when you've had a couple drinks to be like,
The doors were firmly locked from the inside.
And that's like, it's where it always goes wrong. It's so hard to stop when you like could have a little more, but just choose not to. Thank you, Adam. Let's see.
The doors were firmly locked from the inside. I reached up to the cow skull and dislocated its grisly jaw.
I mean, if the chapter doesn't end until you get all the gree stuff, we might have to stop short. I'm very committed to not, because if I wait to like even a half hour longer, I'm going to have that fourth drink and I'm not going to be happy about it later. So put the jaw in the gree.
I placed the jawbone into the gree. Thanks to the stickiness of the molasses, the photograph adhered nicely to the captain's license.
B. Butterworth.
My credentials.
You're telling me you are a captain?
I trust it's all in order.
I thought you said your name was Murphy McCallan.
That's right.
Then why does this say Captain Knott?
It's a pseudonym for marketing purposes. You've got to stand out nowadays. A cool name's a good way to do that. You didn't think Captain Hook was called Hook before the hand incident, did you? What would the odds of that have been?
Look, Sonny, the bylaws of this club only allow the club manager to verify a captain's license. And Mr. Perkins is enjoying his backgammon soiree with Mrs. Perkins and the ladies this evening, with strict instructions not to be disturbed. So I'll accept this for tonight, but try this again tomorrow night and it'll be another story. Now, with that said, a warm and hearty welcome to the Captain's Club. We sincerely hope you make use of and enjoy our facilities, and do please let me know if I can be of any assistance at all. We don't open for another hour, but if you'd like, you can head up now to acquaint yourself.
Pretty snazzy.
While I was trapped on Devil's Rock, a map of the world wasn't going to be much use to me. The cabinet was locked. The door was locked. I considered playing a game, but the lack of balls and cues. I considered playing a game, but the lack of...
I need to find some pool. That might be fun to do this weekend.
I considered playing...
I love some billiards.
I considered playing...
I'm not bad for an amateur player. I mean, like...
I picked up the cube of billiard chalk from the edge of the table.
Far better than me, but, like, you know, for a guy who plays a couple times a year, I'm not bad.
I considered playing a game, but the lack of ball...
I wouldn't mind having a pool table, like a house with a pool table. It takes up so much space, but I wouldn't mind having one. We had a mini one when I was a kid. Like, not a mini one, but it was like a 7-foot, like, not, like, I don't know, 3/4 size or something.
I placed the chalk into the gree-gree.
The graveyard and use the twine. God damn it. It's fucking bullshit. Not the game's fault, it's my, like, computer's fault. And my own fault, but it's really fucking annoying when you have to keep, like, coming over on the left side of the screen and then you accidentally drag the... cursor off the screen that then, like, fucks everything up. Twine on the table leg at the graveyard. Where's the graveyard? Church.
I tied the twine to the uneven table and took up a hiding spot behind a nearby wall. It was time to wake the dead.
Why is he doing this?
Hello? Hello? Why is it so dark in here?
Huh? Who's that?
I'm stuck. Help! Help!
Mallory, if that's you again.
Get me out of this thing!
Oh no, not again.
Hi, Patch.
Mister, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I was told... Mister? Oh, God darn it! Next time I see that girl, I'm gonna have a pee-wee-sized coffin all ready for her. A few hours locked in one of those should adjust her sense of humor.
I didn't need to warm my hands on the stove. It was all... I didn't need to warm... I didn't need... I picked up the handful of discarded coffin nails from the tin. I placed the coffin nails in the gree-gree. Searching the dead man's body was not something I wanted to do.
God, fuck this shit. God damn it.
I cut into the sack with the knife, revealing it to be full of corn.
Pal. Hi, pal.
I took the corn from the sack. I needed to think of something else.
Rude.
I scattered the corn on the path. Mere seconds later, it attracted the attention of the curious chicken. I was glad nobody had seen that. I may have known how to handle a chicken drumstick, but wrestling the living version was altogether different.
Hi, buddy.
If the chicken didn't want me to touch it, perhaps a blast of air could do the trick. The manuscript required black feathers, not white.
Anything to report?
I'm keeping my eyes. Nope. Delicately, I dipped the feathers into the canister of ink. When they emerged, they were dyed jet black. I placed the feathers into the gree-gree. I'd done it. All 7 ingredients for the summoning spell. Now I needed to head back to the Spirit Queen.
Fuck.
I thought I'd find you out here, McAllen.
How did you get out here before me?
Never mind that. This will be the last time, McAllen. I'm not your secretary. I don't know what you're up to out here, but I'll figure it out soon enough. But for now, let's hurry it up. These shoes are alligator skin, and I don't want the local fauna recognizing an old friend. Another telegram came through for you, marked urgent. Kip said you might be out here.
My boss again?
Got it in one.
McAllen, report back immediately. Received word Grimes is deceased. Lack of resources has made this a waste of time. And I've cottoned onto your little stunt with the Friday signatures. When you get back here, sorting mail is gonna be the least of your worries. Sid Sinclair, Sinclair Auditing Company.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. On a night when I'd just seen a ghost, this telegram was almost more unbelievable. There was more to the Belmore story than I could have ever imagined. Now I was being pulled away to a job I didn't want to work, and a life I didn't want to live. Maybe it was time to do something a little foolish. Do I still have that prepaid reply?
Sure do. What do you want it to say?
Tell him I quit. I couldn't believe what I'd done. I'd quit my job and opened the first chapter in my own adventure. But without a job, I didn't have a salary. Without a salary, I wouldn't have a place to live. And it suddenly became more important than ever that I find that treasure. For me this time.
Murphy, have you found all 7 ingredients?
I have.
Wonderful! Now it is time for the final step. Out of the darkness, the sadness, the fear, I command you, my servant, now to appear.
I have returned, Master. What is your desire?
The ingredients have been gathered. The final step of the spell is ready. The focus.
The focus of the spell is whatever you are casting it upon. Belmore Manor is where the ghosts reside. An image of Belmore Manor is what you must use to direct the spell.
Murphy, do you have an image of Belmore Manor we can use?
No.
I didn't need to talk to the witch doctor yet. I needed an image of... That wasn't an image of Belmore Manor. I folded the magazine cover and placed it inside the gree-gree.
The spell is ready. Finally, the ghosts will be free again. Open the gree-gree, Murphy, and that will cast the spell.
With some trepidation, I took the gree-gree from my pocket and with a deep breath, opened it.
I am free.
Servant, what's happening?
I was never your servant.
I am your master. You shall do my bidding. I command you.
Foolish mortal. You have served your purpose. No longer do I need to manifest as an ephemeral specter. Now my true spirit form is freed.
Loa, do as I say.
You are of no more use to me.
Uh-oh. We weren't necessarily doing,
I wasn't sure what I'd just seen, but the voodoo fire raging all around me was all too real. I needed to get out.
We weren't doing his bidding, we were
fast.
doing his servant's bidding, yeah.
I wasn't going to be able to put...
Love how he's just standing there.
Bellows were used to stoke. filled the bottle with water from the spirit pool.
Oh boy. I didn't notice
As I opened my
concern,
eyes,
but
I
noticed,
realized I had no
she
idea
wasn't
where I
too
was.
hostile.
Hello? Hello? This wasn't good. I checked my hands and still seemed to be flesh and blood. What's happening? Where am I?
Welcome back to Belmore Manor, Murphy McCallum. We didn't expect to see you again so soon.
What's going on? Am I dead?
Don't be so overdramatic, Murphy. You're still very much alive. But you're the only person in the house that is. I'm afraid your actions have caused a good bit of trouble for us inhabitants of the house.
What's happened?
Let's see if you can figure it out. We're about to play a song, and Murphy McCallan, this one is for you. All right, all you Belmore Manor ghosts and ghouls, let's take it to a place where voodoo rules. House of spirits, but we know of one with evil intentions, and now no preventions to harm their evil scheme. You're now implicated in this complicated supernatural dream. You cast the spell, now the deed is done. Evil's free, the plan has just begun. Without your detection,
Sure, I don't have any
no
answers.
protection from the Machiavellian game. You set them loose, so you have to deduce who is ill and who is to blame. And self-detested, we'll ask you questions 3. Draw on clues to solve the mystery. The lover, the boy, the devil or God. Questions surrounded in doubt. The officer bride, the sailor or guide, Murphy. Can you figure it out? Can you figure it out? The broken heart stolen by another. Tell us now who is the lover.
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. gonna go with officer. I don't even know who the officer is, though. Like, who's the officer?
I think the sailor was the lover.
Someone in love and their love is true. Is it return? What is there to do? They're caught in the middle of baffling riddles. Is love what can carry them through? Sunset life, no chance for dawn. Tell us now who is the one.
The bride?
I think the bride was the pawn.
A bride in love, but in some evil curse, immersed in voodoo.
What happens
and
if you
things
pick the wrong
get worse.
answers?
She cannot protest, and her mind's not possessed by things that only get worse. Wicked spirited, evil rebel, tell us now who is the devil.
I think the officer was the devil.
A phantom figure who's now in control. Black magic powers got things he stole. But maybe a setback, but he's gonna get back, and we'll worry that goes now. Let's go. Maybe you listened and now you've done it. You took a gamble and you have won it. A bride in a sail and a sailor's farewell, and an officer pulling the strings. A house that's filled with voodoo, and yes, we know like you do. To fix it, we'll take some strange things. To test it, we asked you questions 3. You do the clues and solve the mystery. The officer, bride, and the sailor all died. Questions surrounded in doubt. The lover, the pawn, the devil are gone. Murphy, you figured it out. And it's humorous, the foolish boss. Find treasures trapped in hidden vaults. You may think you are done, but it's all just begun. It's time for the ghostly debut. So say trick or treat, 'cause there's a goal to defeat. And Murphy, we hope that you do. Or guess what? You'll have to lie
The big reveal, like the twist or something? I don't really have any hunches.
after that too.
I like the jazz band in that.
I was back in Belmore Manor, and although it was better than being dead, I didn't know what was awaiting me.
Now where's the maid? I'm ready.
Who wanders to this ghostly trick? The prey that prays it will be quick. Do not blame that final try, for once he's in, he's sure to die.
The writing's pretty
Another
good.
ghost? Oh, this can't be good.
Welcome back to Belmore Manor, Mr. McCallan. My name is Cordelia Lockett. I do hope I haven't scared you.
To be honest, I've had my fill of ghosts for today. Perhaps I should be running along.
I'm afraid you'll need to come with me. There is someone you need to meet.
Who?
Miss Belmore.
You know, I don't think that would be such a great idea. We met twice already this evening, and I don't think she's taken much of a liking to me. What with throwing me off a balcony and pulling me into a spirit pool. Attempt to kill me once? Shame on you. Attempt to kill me twice? Shame on me, you know? I'll just go. It'll be like I was never here.
It's too late for that, Mr. McCallan. I really must insist.
What have I gotten myself into?
Miss Belmore, Mr. McCallan is here to see you.
I don't see anyone.
Am I the lover? Am I like the sailor or something?
I'm terribly sorry, Miss Belmore. I wasn't trying to steal from you. I didn't know anybody was still here. And then I've gotten deeper into things than I expected, and Miss Belmore? Why isn't she saying anything? Why is she crying?
This is all terribly exciting, isn't it? I'm afraid there's much more to this than you realize, Mr. McAllen.
Can she even hear me?
I don't think so, but keep trying to talk to her anyway.
What happened to her?
I can tell you all that I know, if you're brave enough to hear it.
I hope I am.
I was there on that night, all those years ago. And it wasn't Miss Belmore who was to blame. The morning of the wedding, Mr. Rackham left a gift on Miss Belmore's dresser. A small leather pouch with strange beads and strange markings. I shouldn't have been looking, but I saw her open it. It was black magic.
Huh?
Everyone had heard the rumours about Mr. Rackham, but I saw it with my own eyes. Miss Belmore panicked. She threw the pouch into her music box, slammed down the lid to lock it, and threw the brooch into the fireplace. But it was too late. She was losing herself. I could see it in her eyes. Minutes later, she asked me to bring her fiancé to her room. It's bad luck to see the groom before the ceremony. She told him she didn't love him, but I don't think it was her speaking. He begged, he pleaded, his heart broke in two. He was devastated. I saw him head up the staircase to the balcony overlooking the garden. But oh dear, I didn't know what he was going to do. That evening, her wedding to that evil Mr. Rackham began, but it didn't go the way he had planned. Just before Miss Belmore's lips formed the words, "I do," I could see the forces battling inside her. The real love within her resisting the forged compulsion of Mr. Rackham's curse, staring into eyes that were not those of her true love. And that battle of good and evil
Hi, friend.
exploded. Just like that, everyone in the house was gone, trapping us as ghosts to remain here forever. For more than 30 years she's been like this, her mind trapped in an eternal battle between the true love in her heart and the evil magic trying to control her. More than 30 years of never-ending heartbreak. And while Miss Belmore is trapped in torment, do you realise what you've done? You've summoned all the ghosts in the house, including Mr. Rackham, that manipulator, that occultist, that devil, the cause of Miss Belmore's suffering. He's once again free to pursue his evil deeds, because you released him.
If Abigail is under a spell...
Well, it's never happened before. Maybe she's losing the fight against Mr. Rackham's curse. Oh dear, it's all...
Why is Rackham doing all this? What?
He's after the same thing, but he's willing to do a lot more to get it. I'd say he's a...
I have to do something.
I'm afraid I don't rightly know, but Miss Belmore might. She managed to break out of the spell once, just at the moment of the explosion, when Mr. Rackham tried to carry out the wedding. Perhaps if you take her back to that moment, she might be able to break out of it again. To do that,
Yeah, I'm done
you'll need
for
to create
tonight,
a love
so we need
antidote
to
to
just wrap
Mr.
this up.
Rackham's curse.
How can I create a love antidote?
Look in the mirror.
And she won't stop talking.
In this reflection,
I mean,
she's
it's a
as
good
happy
sequence,
as she
but
was
I'm
on the
just, like,
morning of
replaying
her
too long.
wedding. And look, there in front of her, 4 wedding mementos and the echoed music of the wedding march, each one a touchstone of that final happy time. If you could gather those 5 things, perhaps we might bring her back to the moment she escaped the spell, even if just for a moment. There's something else you should know. Mrs. Craddock, the housekeeper, has announced that all wedding preparations are to resume upon the orders of Mr. Rackham. He plans to repeat the wedding tonight. You don't have long.
But what if I break her out of the spell and she is evil now?
I think you'll just have to take that risk.
Maybe I should go. Try to find someone who knows more about this.
Oh, don't you know? You're just as trapped within this house as any of us ghosts. Try the windows, try the doors. We all have 1,000 times. But it's no use. If you want to escape, she's your only hope.
That can't be true. I haven't died. I can't be trapped here forever like you.
In moonlight's glow, a spectral cell, and whispers of an eerie spell. No one hears his silent shout, for once he's in, he can't get out.
No amount of force or technique or desperate longing would open the door. Cordelia was right. I was trapped. And as I looked around at the house that held me, I felt both dead and alive at the same time. Both awake and in a dream, or a nightmare. The only way I could possibly free myself was to gather the 5 items to awaken the Ghost Bride, perhaps giving her a third and final opportunity to kill me.
Alright, yeah, no, it's a cool game. I don't know how soon we'll get back to it, but, you know, we'll get back to it. How do I save? Is the fireplace a save? How do you save? All right, good. Good. This is cool. It's a good stopping point. Good game. Thanks for the assistance, Adam, as always. And we'll be back soon with something. And I'll see you then. Right at the 3-hour mark. Nice.